What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse, and this is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time. As a musician myself, today's the return of Stellar Blade. We are listening to Silent Street, in parentheses, Battle. I wonder what that is. And then we have Train Graveyard. Both of these, I believe, are like Spotify, YouTube channels, because it's just called Release Topic. But it does give me some information on the composers. These are requested by Elijah. I like the music from Stellar Blade. It's really bombastic and cool and like technological. It's also in my backlog. I don't know when I'm gonna play it, but I am interested in it because it just looks interesting. And I know they had like a near crossover, which is really cool. So yeah, I still don't know the story or anything going on. I just know it's like this kind of linear action adventure thing with pretty cool soundtrack. Let's start off with Silent Street Battle. But what kind of battle is it? Let's go. God, it immediately put me in like a 90s arcade just hearing that. Just like that. So dreamy. Little side trance. Very curious on this bottom character. You can't see this one. Very mysterious looking. This reminds me of like maybe 10 years ago when I used to hear a lot of stuff like this from like Ellie Goulding. I feel like a lot of Stellar Blade's music would do well like in the mainstream radio. Like this sounds like it could be a hit. Oh, I'm so glad a rhythmic change happened here. The one thing about those types of like side trance and stuff, it can get repetitive a little bit in a good way, but all of a sudden now it has a lot more flavor to it. Not what I was expecting was something with battle in the title. It's catchy. It's actually reminding me of one of my favorite soundtracks. Kind. For those here that have played like Tekken 6, maybe some Tekken 5, there's a little bit of that in there. A little bit. I'm curious if this vocalist is supposed to be like the protagonist speaking, or if it's about her, or... Yeah, I remember. This is less about the game; it's just more of like a personal experience. But that's what the reaction is about, right? It just whatever like happened in my head. Every game and every song on here always triggers some sort of memory or something I can relate it to in my journey of music, right? So in this case, this was a very specific memory And it was like 10, 11 years ago. And I worked at this place that was like 40 minutes away, and I did not have a car. Well, I did have a car, I just didn't work. So I had to take the bus. But not only the bus, but I had to take 3 buses. 2 buses to get there. And it sucked. So 4 total there and back. And it was a long trip. And this was the time where this before Pandora. Or sorry, this was before Spotify, that I got into Spotify. I was listening to Pandora a lot. And I would just, since I had so much time every day to, go to work, I would just try different stuff, different radios, and got into this sort of like Ellie Goulding, and there's also the group called Nero, which I really enjoy. Actually, that's a name I haven't said in a while, but Nero's really, really good. They got songs like My Eyes, and there's another one, but My Eyes is my favorite. But it reminds me of that, right? It reminds me of like sitting at the bus stop in the cold and looking out the window, trying to get a seat by myself. I hate sitting next to someone else on the bus. And just, it was like a very struggle period, don't get me wrong, but it was a fun time. It was a cool job. But anyways, this is what I was listening to at that time. Like, just, I always have different phases with music, even though, right, like at any point in my life, there was always like a shuffle of music genres. But, I'll have phases for like a month. I'll listen to, I don't know, hip hop or something. And then this month will just be like straight metal. And then that month will be like Willie Nelson. I don't know. But there's always that shuffle going on. But I remember specifically like that, like half a year straight was just like Pandora and hearing different artists that I had no idea. I was willing to hear a bunch of new stuff all the time. And that's what this reminded me of. It just put me in that spot immediately. And yeah, that's really funny. So the only thing I can really say about this song, because I haven't played it, I can tell you that I had a misconception of Silent Street Battle. I thought this was going to be, in my head, I'm imagining Silent Street as a place, and this is the battle theme for that place. When I think of Silent Street, man, I'm thinking like quite literally, like hearing like the wind or something, and just a bunch of like industrial sounds and maybe some cars in the distance. From what I've seen in this game, though, which is not too much, maybe a couple minutes worth, it seems like a either futuristic place or a different planet or dilapidated. Like it looks very barren of humans. So yeah, like I said, I still don't know the context, but that's what I was imagining in my head. And as far as the battle theme, I don't know. That's a pretty cool battle theme. I feel like this is kind of a given because it goes with just about every song here on this channel. But I can almost guarantee the song sounds really cool in game when it's happening, because I'm trying to imagine the whole action adventure thing with this, and that's a really neat experience that I'm not sure if I've had that experience. Bayonetta didn't have that. That was more of a kind of similar, but the music was totally different. Yeah, no, I haven't had anything where it's just like this sort of psytrance dance stuff while you're hacking away. So that's really cool. And then finally, I guess I can mention that this reminds me of some of the stuff from Tekken 5 and Tekken 6, which are some of my favorite soundtracks. Really cool. Really cool. Train Graveyard. That's a cool name. My brain immediately goes to Final Fantasy VII. Immediately. But I like the setting that's giving me in my head, right? Another dilapidated place, just like cars and what do you call the actual? They're not cars. Are they cars? Train cars? Whatever. I can just imagine them all sideways and rusted and all that. If you ever played FF7 Remake or the original, I'm thinking of just that place. So this is Train Graveyard. There's some stuff in Arc Knights that sound like this too. Smooth. Subtle electric guitar. So subtle that it sounds like it's speaking to you. I feel like it's coming right now. Now? It's toying with me. Man, talk about atmospheric. It's interesting hearing this side of Stellar Blade, because I've heard like the dubsteppy, big powerhouse stuff. Now we're just like, it's a really good sounding lead guitar. Oh, it's building up. Like static noises too. This is a very diverse soundtrack. Mysterious, electronic, hard-hitting, calm. Train graveyard. I just noticed her vocals. It's not English. What language is that? Man, those guitars sound great. There's a lot of guitar in this song. I'm really struggling putting the song with the title. Harmonics. Ding, ding. There's some really nice harmonics too. They're really loud. Interesting. I feel like the requester put these two together on purpose because they're on the more chiller side than what I'm used to. I don't remember the first song I heard from Stellar Blade, but I remember it sticking out because it was intense. You know, it hit hard and it was wub wub and just really out there, in your face, I should say. So now we're hearing the other stuff. This is the cool thing about like the difference between a debut on the channel and then like hearing it later. It's always the most fun for me hearing it later. Actually, no, it's definitely fun the first time you hear it because I don't know anything. After that, it's a test of like, oh, do I remember it? Or maybe test my skills and see, you know, what kind of feeling it gave off last time. And then you have stuff like this where it's like a complete curveball. This is nothing like the first impression of Stellar Blade. So what I'm guessing this game is, as you play it, for people that have never played it, And as you're going through it, there's a lot of multiple first impressions. So it's a game that constantly is just like, ooh, neat. You know, it's not a get comfortable and then you just get bored of the same thing over and over. So I feel like this is a nice, not necessarily music design, but more of a just having a whole slew of colors to play with. And right as I said that, I've been staring at this suggested video, and it says Stellar Blade full original game soundtrack. It's at the very top of the suggested 209 videos. Now, I don't know if there's 209 songs in the soundtrack, but I'm guessing it's at least 200. That's nuts. That is way more than I imagined. Is that accurate? Or do you think that's more of like a, maybe there's like 4 songs for every one and little variances? From what I've seen of this game, it's like a pretty short-ish game, like 20 something, 30 hours. I could be way off on that, but it's linear, right? It's not like I don't think it's like Nier. I know that gets compared all the time, but I'm just using it because that's the one everyone knows. But when I think Nier, I think of like, you know, side quests and all this other stuff, and then the main story. To my knowledge, this is mostly the main story and just a couple of little side things, but you don't really like, I don't know. Either way. So when I see 200 songs, I'm like, what? If I had to take a guess, I thought this would be like maybe 40, 50 OST. So I don't know. That was really cool. I really struggled putting the title of that. The only thing I can imagine that is just straight up a place with old trains. Like, it's very literal. It's just a place with old trains, and that just happens to be the music that plays there. Like just very literal. But otherwise, I would have never guessed. Like, for example, if I heard that completely blind, 0.00001 chance that I would say train graveyard. It sounded more like coming home and something like that. Like something very, well, I guess train related, you know, like departing or coming, but not like, I don't know. I don't know. These two both threw me for a loop considering what I've heard from Stellar Blade thus far. But cool. I like the atmosphere. If you like songs like this one, I suggest a song from, I think it's OTT, and it's the Queen of All Everything. I've suggested it before, but minus the vocals, the Queen of All Everything has this sort of ambiance. So, yeah. Thank you to the requester, and thanks to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. There's still plenty of Stellar Blade to go. Can't wait to get to it. See what variety we have. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Later.